Hi, Stephen Piercy from Rat, and you're listening and watching CMS TV.
Who do you think you guys learned more from watching, Slipknot or In Flames?
I think it would be In Flames.
Okay.
Because we were so fresh, we were so new to the game. We barely knew what a load-in was.
Okay.
So to be able to see Anders and Bjorn playing gigs day after day after day and keep it so consistent, with both the music, the crowd, interaction and everything. That's when we really took it all in. I would say that's when we became a better band live when it comes to taking on a stage, basically.
It is Chris Akin Presents, and I, of course, am Chris Akin. And today on the show, we are going to feature one of the heaviest records of the year that we have featured so far. And I'm not going to lie, it's one of my absolute top 3 for the year. It is a great record. It is called Death Above Life. It is out October 3rd. The band is Orbit Culture. And here to speak all about it is the singer, the guitarist, and the main man himself, Nicholas Carlson. Nicholas, how are you, man?
I'm very good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good, man. It is great to talk to you. And I'm just going to tell you straight up. I didn't know anything about your band until your publicist threw it at me and said, here, listen to this. You'll like it. and I listened to it and I was absolutely blown away. This thing is there's a lot going on with it. It's heavy, which I love, but there's also so many musical layers to it that it takes a few listens to get it. At least that's my take. Is that kind of what you guys were going for when you started working on it?
I think many of our albums and songs seems to be that you have to like digest it for a while for some reason.
Right.
But once you have done that, it people seems to enjoy it a lot, and I don't think we do it on purpose. But I think it gets down to when we write songs and record them, I think we get pretty bored fast, so we start to add all these layers and elements and stuff, to first of all keep ourselves entertained for some stupid reason. Yeah.
Right. Well, how do you write? Do you write off of a riff, or is there a lyric that you try to build on? I mean, or does it come in many different fashions?
I'm pretty straightforward, and I use the same technique or whatever for several years now. It's just sit at home by the computer, put on a plugin called Superior Drummer, put on a 4/4 groove, and then you just riff away basically. And what I do is like I keep everything in like the same project, so it feels more like a diary these days. 9 out of 10 times it's complete utter garbage, but there sometimes a few golden ingots
Sure.
come forward. Yeah.
Sure. Do you write differently now than you did when you started playing? Meaning, have you learned lessons that have made it easier or more efficient to write?
It's the same like thing, sitting by the computer and just riff away. Basically, that's been ever since I was like 17. But obviously, you get a bit faster of how you get to the next point, if that makes sense. Like, you don't need those 50 different pianos in one project that's slowing down your computer. It's enough with 2, because then you write 3 more songs due
Sure.
to just a technical aspect, not like bothering you.
Right. Definitely. Nice. Well, Nicholas, you said in the press, or at least the press release said, so it could just be BS, and I know that, but it said that you personally look at Death Above Life as a rebirth and a new beginning. What was the biggest change, and why was that change needed for Death Above Life?
I think the biggest change was obviously when we jumped labels. We were done with the old label that we had, and we needed some more, you know, to be honest, just some more budget to make this band and project grow, to the level that we wanted it to be. Luckily for us, Century Media came in and saw what we wanted to do and just like, here you go. Uh, so that was a big change for us, and I think we have laid down, the work for a headlining tour. Obviously, we headlined last year, but now it's more, it feels way bigger this time, and we have put down the work, playing so many support tours, which have been, great. I would never, trade it for anything else. But
Sure.
it's time for us to blossom out to the headliner Orbiculture rather than the support band.
Right.
That's the big rebirth for us.
Sure. When Century Media comes in, or any label, not necessarily only Century, but any, I know how musicians are. I've interviewed thousands of you guys, and you all have such a clear idea of what you want to do. Sometimes you struggle to get it there, but you know what you want to do. Then you bring in a label whose interests are different than yours. How difficult is it to work them in without feeling like they're your quote unquote boss? Because once they feel like they're your boss, then you're not doing what you want to do anymore. See what I mean?
Exactly. That was like one of the key reasons why we choose Century Media, because we were very thorough with other labels. Like, if we were about to sign, you have to like give us the complete creative freedom.
Right.
You just basically have to open your pocket and shut up. If that makes sense.
Right.
But the more we start to talk with Century Media and get to know, obviously when you meet people like that, it's first of all business, but the more you meet these people and you take a beer with them, the more you just hang out like regular human beings,
Mm-hmm.
we actually created like a bond which is needed for this kind of endeavors, I would say.
Sure.
So yeah, it just came naturally, man. And but as you said, there are labels out there that want to sign a band and basically just do what they want with it. But we have always been very protective about Orbiculture, and that's why we ended up with Century Media.
Right on, definitely. Well, Nicholas, talk a little bit about your love for Hans Zimmer and Howard Shore, because it was mentioned numerous times in the press that that's a huge influence to you. I'm gonna be honest, this music is so heavy I don't hear it, but but maybe that's because I'm not a musician to where I can feel those pieces. So explain a little bit about that and how listening to composers like that helps you craft songs.
I think it all like crumbles down to metal is metal, but it's not something that I gravitate so much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I always end up listening to Gojira, Metallica, but I really don't find anything new that I latch on to.
Sure.
But what I do latch on to is like movie music, and in this day and age when it's so easy to bring in cellos, strings, whatever into your own music with your computer or whatever. It opened so many doors for us to bring in movie elements into metal music. I
Sure.
know it's been done for ages now, but the tools are starting to become so great, and all these libraries sounds like you actually have you
Mm-hmm.
know Tina Guo in the room, basically. But I think for our music, it comes. I mean, we are four guys. We have guitar, bass, vocals, drums. That's the classic package, right? But the more we start to use these tools to build an atmosphere within the songs, we felt like this became more like a fifth member that we have to like nurture in some way. And I'm all for, you know, elevating the songs in the studio to you know, almost to a larger than life feeling, even though it can be sometimes hard to replicate live. But yeah, I think for me it's just so exciting to fiddle around with stuff like that, elements like that, rather than just be so locked into a guitar, if that makes
Sure.
sense.
Sure.
Welcome to the ultimate experience for hard rock and heavy metal fans. Introducing the CMS Locals VIP app, your #1 destination for all things on the CMS network. Dive into the classic metal show, Chris Akin Presents, Seth Williams Show, and more, all in one place. It's free to get started or elevate your experience with a subscription for just $4.99 a month. Go commercial free, get advanced releases, and enjoy exclusive bonus episodes. Plus, it's the prime spot to chat with like-minded fans who love raw, uncensored commentary. Are you ready to rock? Download from your iOS or Android store, search for the CMS network, and join the community now. It's free, it's easy, and it's the best way to keep our shows with you every single day. Install the Locals.com app today and follow the CMS network.
Do you know, you talk to people and everybody is two ways about the AI now. You know, some are
Yeah.
like 1,000,000,000% against it, and if you ever use it for anything, you're fake. And then there's the others that are embracing it and using it as a tool. Like you said, you could use AI to put an orchestra behind you where you probably couldn't afford 300 people to be in an orchestra behind you, you know, so to speak. So where do you guys stand, and where is that line for using the computer to enhance what you develop or what you design?
It's a very complicated thing right now, but I think, you know, the more time passes on, people will accept it for, you know, what it is. But what I do have trouble with, because I was also, I have to be completely honest, when it first came, when you could like generate art, which is looking this, you know, really cool. I was like, yeah, then it's so easy to make that. And then, you know, I started to see possibilities with it. But then when I found out that, you know, artists are losing their jobs due to that, I was like, okay, I'm not supporting that.
Sure.
But what I do support is like, you know, the other AI tools like ChatGPT, you know, when I can throw in an Excel sheet that's like 600 pages long, you know, find me the problem, and it just takes 1 second. That I'm all for. That's just, you know, making effective stuff. But when it comes to creative stuff, I think you can be creative with AI as long as you have that as like a foundation, and then you bring your own stuff on top of it, if it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like using a Shutterstock image for something.
Sure.
But the difference is that the Shutterstock or the AI was like built on the spot.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
I think the difference is kind of a lot of people are using it to do almost all of the development and then just putting their little stamp on top of what the AI is doing, which that's not cool because then that's
no,
not you creating. But
exactly.
if you create something and for the life of you cannot figure out a phrase or something to tie lyrics together or something, I personally don't see the problem with asking ChatGPT, "Hey, what would fit here?" You know,
Yeah.
I see that kind of methodology, but unfortunately, you have too many people that are using an app like Suno or something. They just go, "Here, give me a 4-minute song that's heavy metal and it has a guttural vocal." They get it, and then they just add their vocal to replace that, and it's like, man, that's not being
People
creative.
do that?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's you know, if you put out any tool, people will exploit it. You know?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that at all. But as you said, I mean, if ChatGPT in that sense could be a better version of Rhyme Zone, then
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Right. No,
But
I hear you.
as you said, if it's just like made one, from 0 to 100%, and then you call it a day done, then
Right.
it's not okay.
Right. I hear you, man. Well, Nicholas, let's talk a little bit about some music here. Talk a little bit about Inferno, which, man, what a smoker to open. Talk a little bit about that. And the writing of specifically that riff. That riff is nasty. Mm.
Oh, cool. Thank you, man. I think that song just happened to be why we placed it first was that it sound a lot like old Orbit Culture,
Mm-hmm.
just a bit over the top, like
Right.
crammed all the way. But I think we put it there first because both that song and the Tales of War, which we released as the first single, feels like a bridge in some way from our older material to this new one. So yeah, but that's Inferno is also one of those songs that when you write it, you come to a certain point, especially like after the second chorus or whatever, like, okay, now we have to switch it up before it gets boring. And then we start to add all these, cinematic elements in there and just, yeah, go crazy with it.
Right on, man. Now, from what I understand too, you personally are very hands on with all the visuals, with the videos and the video clips and everything. Talk a little bit about shooting the videos for this, and specifically, this is a side question, but is it difficult to make a video that you hope gets mass appeal with music that's this heavy?
I don't know, man. I think the visuals should always, match, the song.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's always been the goal. But these days, I'm more like I maybe come with an idea to the people that we always work with now, Rivata Visuals from Finland. Back in the day, we did all the videos ourselves, but now we have started to work so close with Rivata that they basically know us so well, so
Mm-hmm.
they know what we like and they know how we sound and what images to put with the sound and everything. So I think it's more. I believe back a bit when it comes to the video stuff. Because I trust Rivata so much to do it these days. But I still have this control freaky thing that
Right.
I really can't let go of. Even though like they're holding the cameras and they are editing the videos, I try to be in the back and just, hey, what are you doing?
Right.
But no, I trust them so much. So yeah. But to answer your question, I think we don't care about so much how it's gonna land with a bigger audience or a smaller audience. It's
Mhm.
more like what fits the song, basically.
Sure. See, let me ask you though. You guys did do you played some shows with Slipknot, and obviously that's about as big as as anybody's gonna play. That's a huge show. Do you watch a band like that? And they're heavy, they're very heavy too, but yet they've found that magic sauce to be between heavy and mass appeal. Do you watch that and do you try to figure out, well, what are those guys doing? How can I not mimic them, because you're obviously not a mask band or whatever, but do you watch that and, and try to figure out how can I do the same with Orbit Culture to get both the big crowd as well as keeping the music intense?
Yeah, I think somewhere in the back of your mind, you're like a sponge. It doesn't have to be words or anything. You can just watch the exchange from an audience member to, let's say, Corey Taylor, which there you can see like something resonates so well. Even and it could be a chorus or a tough ass riff like.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we are just sponges. We've been so lucky to be able to stand side stage and take it all in from that point of view. But when it comes to the songs, I think when we watched Slipknot, it was more the songs are incredible, but they are Slipknot. I mean, I can't really touch that, but what I can try to replicate is what the fan and Corey Taylor exchanges, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I would love to have a mask, but there's so many masked bands these days.
Right. Hey, it's Chris Akin from the Classic Metal Show, Chris Akin Presents, and the Seth Williams Show, straight from the uncensored heart of the CMS network. We've just been crowned a certified Rumble creator, and that means we're bringing the heat. All our shows, commercial free, baby. Advanced episode drops sometimes months before the normal release, so you're not stuck waiting. You'll get all this plus exclusive content for Rumble Premium subscribers that'll blow your mind. And with Rumble Premium, you'll get every CMS Network show and all of Rumble's other videos with no ads and no fluff. This is our official home, Rumble. It's raw, powerful, and unfiltered. You want in? Just hit us up at rumble.com/register/classic metal show to sign up for free commenting, chat live, and just your ability to join the chaos of all of our shows. Then while you're there, swing by any of our videos, smash that Rumble Premium button, and level up. Subscribe now. Don't sleep on this. Hit the link in the description. Who do you think you guys learned more from watching, Slipknot or In Flames?
I think it would be In Flames.
Okay.
Because we were so fresh, we were so new to the game. We barely knew what a load-in was.
Okay.
So to be able to see Anders and Bjorn playing gigs day after day after day and keep it so consistent, with both the music, the crowd, interaction and everything. That's when we really took it all in. I would say that's when we became a better band live when it comes to taking on a stage, basically.
Right. Definitely, man. Well, dude, obviously, man, with a new record, with for Orbit Culture, with Death Above Life, the question of touring always comes. It's harder than ever to tour, it seems like, both financially and just getting paperwork in order seems like it's a nightmare these days. What opportunities are you guys going to have to get out there the rest of this year or into next year?
We have a great headline tour coming up now here in October, but as you said, there's still paperwork to be done.
Sure.
Whether it's costumes, some visas here and there, blah blah blah. The States are getting tougher for sure, but I think with the States is once you get on U.S. soil, it's pretty easy breezy from there. It's just that you have to get to there,
right?
But then the aim is to come back to North America next year and just play the crap out of this record.
Sure. Festivals next year? Are you trying to work all that out?
Yeah, we already released some. We were lucky enough to get the Akin. Oh, nice! Finally, excuse me, and Bloodstock and big ones like that. We played. The June festivals this year. So naturally, you do the August ones next year.
Sure.
Great slots, great festivals. We will definitely be busy. I can tell you that.
Nicholas, I always ask everybody about Wacken because I'm fascinated by that festival. I mean, I cannot even imagine the 30 seconds right before you go on stage when you take that peek around the curtain and you see more people than you've ever seen in your life in front of you. What is that feeling? And do you have any thoughts of, man, I ain't doing this. This is crazy.
I mean, it's a special feeling every time. You can't really put your finger on it other than that you have to embrace it and act cool,
right?
But we had a similar thing when we played in Mexico last year with Slipknot also. So it was us opening and Baby Metal and then Slipknot headlining. And we went up to the stage and the crowd was so loud and we were like, this I mean, big crowds are usually allowed, but this was
Sure.
something out of the ordinary. So when we like peaked, as I said, behind the curtain, it was 40,000 people there.
Right.
And that's when I had to like pinch me in the arm, and we were proud to be there, but it was scary as fuck.
and I'm assuming though, once you start playing, all that goes away, right? Like as soon as you start the first song, it's like, all right, all that nerves is gone, and now it's just bring the aggression.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's way more nervous to throughout the gig to play in front of 100 people rather than 40,000, because it just feels like it's just a sea of people. You can barely
Sure.
get any eye contact with anybody. So it just feels like you're playing in front of a huge screen with people.
Right. Nice. Very good, man. Well, dude, obviously, as we've been talking about, Orbit Culture has a new release, Death Above Life, October the 3rd. We tell everybody it's okay if you stream it, but buy something, whether it's an MP3, a hat, a shirt, a keychain, whatever it would be, buy something. Where is the best place for us to tell people to go to buy something from Orbit Culture?
I would say it is our own official merch store. You can find it at shop.orbitculture.com.
Okay.
And then we have a North American store too, which is I can't remember the URL now, but just visit www.orbitculture.com and you'll find everything that you need.
All right, very good. Well, one more time, the band is Orbit Culture. The new release is Death Above Life. October the 3rd is the date. You can pre-order it now. I suggest you do. It is a killer record. And Nicholas, it's been fun, man. Thanks for joining me here on Chris Akin Presents.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.